Hey everyone, welcome back to Houkago no Pleiades, which is episode 3, 5 Cinderellas. And yeah, we're doing just like Punchline. We're gonna do our top 3 moments this time, instead of 5. Maybe to cut the time off some on this series. And other shows, but to jump right in with mine, number 3 would be a record 7 moments in my Magical Girl series. We had some like lifting at the end, and those big clouds at the end. That's like big giant storm going down, so it was kind of cool seeing them, I guess, use their, the broom things in a different way as like surfboards and stuff. And it just reminded me of El Rec 7. Just those moments when they use their boards and stuff. It's kind of cool. And just seeing, again, I can see them use them differently is cool.
I didn't even think of that. I was just swept away by the scope of having that big funnel cloud way up there in the sky. Every single time I see that, I keep on thinking, don't fall off the drive shafts, girls. Please don't.
Right. It was in that we saw Itsuki kind of, I guess, give her like a moment to shine. Maybe her just finally doing something and like linking all the girls together in one thing is kind of interesting. Like that's kind of cool seeing different things they can do with their I guess brooms. I've been wondering for a while what powers they have outside of just being able to fly on these brooms. You know, can they do any attacks or anything? It kind of shows maybe not yet, but they probably can later. They work together as a team, which is yeah.
I think they will because they get better at what they're doing the more they work together. So it's kind of like instead of having individual level ups, they level up as a group.
Right. That and Minato, the horn guy, kind of mentioned that there are 5 points of a star. I'm like, oh, that does make sense. There are 5 girls. Each of them contribute, and together they're, as a team, they're pretty good. So it's like that makes sense. Them being and being all the stars and stuff, and kind of a theme of the show.
Oh yeah.
So what was your number 3?
Number 3, fate is bringing them together. Will fate tear them apart once the job is done? I can't help but think how a show or how an element of a show bookends itself. So, and this is a magical girl show, and it's about friendship. And one of the things about friendship they explore is how you have to say goodbye. So, I mean, I know I'm probably putting that well before the ending, but that's just one of the things that I instantly thought of when it happened. That there was this, they're all going to have to go back. It shows in the OP them all coming through 5 different doors. One of these days they're going to have to go back through those doors and say goodbye to each other, and it'll be sad.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, now you say that, like Vivid Operation was the same. One of the girls obviously was from a different world, so they had to split up. And you also have, Sword No Method, even though the ending is questionable, but still it's one of those things where eventually, like you said, they have to leave. And we saw it with Rolling Girls. The same thing, Rolling Girls did that, where the team's gonna be broken up, or I guess you could say breaking the band up. I guess eventually it's gonna happen. Unfortunately, I think that's the way it goes.
What's wrong with us? Why are we watching shows that make us cry at the end? Come on.
Or maybe they can do something where, since Subaru has the key to the dimensions, maybe she can find a room where they can all hang out after school. Maybe they can do that.
That's an interesting thought.
Right. And so that's pretty good. I mean, number 2 would be for me is probably swimsuits this week, which was kind of caught off guard by that. But when I saw the eye catch halfway through, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing swimsuits. I see what we're doing.
That was a damn fine eye catch too, when you get right down to it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna give credit to the eye catch artist for that. And but yeah, the swimsuits actually serve a purpose though. The star falls into the ocean, and the girls have to go down there and get it. And just like Iron Man has different types of suits, obviously the girls have different suits for different reasons. So they have the swimsuits because obviously they get in the water, so it kind of makes a little sense. But for me, Precure's done that where they turn to mermaids, so they go to the water. That happens. But yeah, it was kind of interesting just seeing their clothes change for a different purpose. It was kind of interesting. But them going in the water, I guess they could breathe in the water, sort of, maybe not. I don't know. I'm still confused on that.
Well, you've been wanting to see what magic spells they have. Obviously, they can cast breathe underwater.
Right. Except for when you open your mouth, like Nanako found out. You kind of had to swim back. I thought it was funny when she was translating while underwater. It was funny.
Yes. Well, I mean, okay, yes, it's like in D&D, Breathe Underwater is like a first level easy spell, but it is based on concentration. If your wizard loses his concentration, he loses the capacity to breathe underwater, or whoever he casts a spell on.
Right. EverQuest has a similar situation where a necromancer can do it to you, or a bard who can just play a song. And once he stops playing the song, you're gonna drown. So it's kind of funny that
depending on what.
right.
I mean, he better not be singing a 3-minute long pop song for a long operation.
Right. Yeah. They did go pretty deep under. They went like almost to the bottom of the ocean to get the star. It was funny just seeing that. I guess the change in environment was pretty interesting. What was your number 2? Kind of like something similar to mine, but yep.
Yeah, building up from yours, the swimsuit rating probably tells you a lot about yourself, both for the characters and for the viewers. So, like, who had the prettiest swimsuit? Let's not go any further than that, or how the girls actually kind of fashioned out their swimsuits. I think it was really, really telling that Aoi had kind of like those boy pants as briefs and different things like that. Nanako had a one piece because obviously she really didn't need to show off an awful lot. Hikaru had that kind of like little skirt thing, which, all those kind of like, tomboyish girls, they kind of almost want that flair a little bit.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
but Itsuku and Subaru were both kind of rocking the two pieces in a little way. And that kind of tell them that they were probably just a little less self-conscious, but still kind of demure about their attitude. So, it's just an interesting way to be able to rank the swimsuits.
Right, and Nanako's being kind of leader type too. She's more, I guess, and she's very quiet. She's not very outspoken. So maybe she's just more kind of, I want to be normal swimsuit that a kid her age probably would be wearing versus some other characters. But yeah, that's interesting that now you mentioned all that. It could be, like you said, describing their personalities more than their Latin on. But yeah, it's pretty good. My number 1 this week would be, is Monado / Horn Guy really a bad guy? I mean, he was helping him at the end capture the star, but I know he's doing it for his own means, but it was just funny to seeing him kind of, he's like, be quiet, don't startle the thing, and he was kind of helping them through that. I was like, this is a little weird that he's actually trying to be nice. But yeah, that's the question I want to ask. Is he really a bad guy? I mean, I don't know.
Well, like I said last episode, he appears to be, letting them do the heavy lifting for him when we get right down to it. Since he's obviously a solo artist, he can't do the 5-point star of capturing on his own. So he has to come in and he has to, what do they call that in gaming? Turf killing or something like that.
Yeah, kill stealing
or spawn killing. Something like that. That's exactly what.
Yeah, he's still in the loot while they do all the work.
So the question is he really a bad guy? No, but he's a jerk. We can answer that quite readily.
Yeah. As a funny side note, I was looking at his voice actress is actually a female. She was Vivian from Cross Age. I was like, that's pretty funny. Another redhead.
Yes.
And but,
that is so freaking cool.
But yeah, I didn't notice that it was actually that's actually a female doing his voice. But yeah, so again, I don't know what his deal is. I mean, I kind of wish they would reveal more about him, like what his end game is, what's he up to. Maybe it's his engine he's building. I don't know. Who knows?
He's from a rival automobile manufacturer.
Probably, yeah. What was your number 1?
His just some of the parts that were happening to him during the episode. I mean, he totally got owned this time around. They were able to actually get the engine piece and do all that and make him look kind of dumb in the process. I mean, they look kind of foolish, with the that eel rubbing up against their feet and breaking their concentration, but he just got owned. He just got outclassed finally this time. They were working together very well, and his swimsuit looked dumb. I mean, come on, you're a guy. You don't have to wear a swimsuit like that.
Or maybe he actually is a girl instead, not really a guy.
Well, yeah, that's quite possible. You never know. But at least he got butt in the face. I mean, if he's a he.
Right. I mean, in his age. I mean, I'm not sure if he's older than them or younger than them or at the same age. But yeah. But I thought it was funny. Yeah, actually, he's rolling around in space and hits him, and like, I noticed that a lot. She's always, anytime he's near her, she's always pulled to him. Like he's got this gravity pull to her, and both those characters kind of get pulled to each other somehow. Like every episode, he's catching her, or helping her, or she runs into him. It's like, wow, it was like weird. weird stuff going on. And I guess some random things to mention. They did mention about parallel worlds, past lives, and other things like from Steins Gate. I mean, that little alien was blabbing about it for like a good, I would say, 5-10 minutes until they shut him up. Just they so yeah, he was
Yeah,
just going on and on about it, like, oh, you girls are this, and even the girls are kind of like, I'm confused. I'm like, yeah, me too.
it was kind of like at that moment when Koizumi from Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya was describing the atrophic principle, Kyon, which is basically waiting for him to shut up.
Uh-huh. Pretty much this, I guess.
This is really great. Whatever you're smoking, I don't want any of it. Okay, so
Yeah.
just stop right now.
Yeah, so I mean, again, the question pops up like we were saying earlier, are the girls from different worlds? Like you said, the opening clearly shows them coming out of different doors, which is another probably hint towards the the end of the series. But yeah, it also brings up lots of questions, about their, why are they different worlds? Why did they come from different timelines? And yeah, I'm curious if they ever explore that. And I'm also thinking Minato obviously parties from another dimension too, because he has some kind of connection with Subaru. Like there's some kind of connection between those characters. Because she's always
He's always able to get
yeah
into her room. What's up with that, dude? Come on.
yeah, there's something going on with that. And the whole he always helps her through the problem, but at the end he's the bad guy. It's just weird. I'm very curious what they do with that character, or if maybe they're two different people.
Yes.
Maybe he's trapped in that dimension.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know. There's a lot of weird things going on. And the last thing is the girls kind of hung out in space for a while. But that was kind of funny. Surely it's cold up there.
Well, surely it was cold down at the bottom of the ocean when you get right down to it too.
Uh-huh.
It gets colder the deeper you go, and they seem to be fine. So those were magic swimsuits in more ways than one.
Right. And yeah, it's just them hanging out in space and they see a meteor shower and all this. So it's more of the, I guess, team bonding. Which, again, since you hint at them possibly leaving, even hurts me more that they're becoming such good friends right now. Slowly but surely. But even though Subaru is kind of still, I would say, on the fence, she's not 100% with them right now, but because she still has complaints and issues with certain things, but I think she's coming around. Is there anything else you want to mention?
Indeed. No, it's a really good show to follow. It tells its story at its own pace, and it has a good set of reveals still working. Anyone out there have a favorite character so far? I'm going to make an early nomination of Hikaru because I just, I like those character types, those brash, kind of loud, kind of bratty sort of lowly-esque characters.
Yeah, I'm kind of more of a Nanako, just because she's just this mysterious character, and she says things.
She's a close second.
Yeah, and I did notice that, like, again, comparisons to, like, I looked at some Mal recommendations, which is really never a really good thing to do if you're bored. But not Salvagabu, but the other one, I guess C3 was on there on that list of shows that are compared to this. Yeah, it's a little weird. I think it's just because the character types, like, again, you have the quiet, silent leader type in Nanako, and the hyper girl you like, she's kind of, I would say, the hyper one of the group. And Al being this strong, I don't know, tomboy type.
What is up with anything online that does suggestions like that for you? I mean, I can understand Mal. Maybe it's kind of like, anime hobbyist watchers. We'll watch anything, so we'll recommend anything.
Right.
Huh?
Because the Boy Magical Girl series was on there too, on that list.
Which one?
Defense Club, whatever. Cute High School Defense Club, Love, whatever. That was on there.
the boys, the magical boys.
Yep. And Sword and Method's on there too. About being friends with someone who's from a different world.
The crying ending.
And both animes have a girl that has short hair, apparently. But
Mal, that as a commonality.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess if you can list, I'm looking at Anime DB for all my anime needs. They don't bother to do that half the time. They do have clubs and different things like that, but I like how for Nanako they just have as a character feature witch's hat and hair over one eye.
Yeah, that, and if you use Anime Planet, they go in detail like that. You can search all characters with purple hair.
Yep.
Or you can do all that and
search all lowly.
Pretty much, you can search for anything like that. But overall, I
Is
mean,
that
this is a fun episode. I mean, like you said, we're getting
hmm
a slow reveal here about things that are happening. It's not right at once, but yeah. And I guess there's a comment last week that kind of, I don't know, it was like, I don't know, someone was saying that this is not promoting car sales very well. I'm like, that's not what the show's about. It's not trying to sell cars. I mean, we did have that moment this week that Subaru did start crying over the car parts, which was a little weird for me. She
That was
sees,
that.
I'm like, okay, you're uh,
I metaphorically understood exactly why
me
that was
too. I
happening when you get
mean,
right down to it. Because the engine was torn apart, everything's asunder, and oh no, it'll never come back together again. And her father and her mother had to have a nice, quiet family moment to be able to calm her down and different things like that. Or there was another car moment when Itsuki was speeding up around that big tower cloud.
mhm.
You could see the dashboard appear on the front of
Oh
her
yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
of her. hmm
Yeah, it was cool. And the fact that Subaru's dad has a Subaru outside his
Oh,
house.
yep. Well, I think all of them are Subarus when you get right down
Right.
to it. It's kind of like whatever mystery car they're driving in Bakemonogatari.
Yeah, that
It's ubiquitous.
Subaru's dad obviously works for a car company. He makes engines and
Yeah.
stuff. So, but yeah, I thought it was just, like
So,
you said, out of the blue, she starts crying with his car parts. I mean, I understand why. She's seeing it in a different light, such as her friends.
mhm.
They're scattered. They can't do anything. When they're together, they can do things. So, which makes sense. I mean, they're using the car obviously as part of a background thing. It's there. They still want to remind you this is still sponsored by them. I think that's what they're trying to do. But yeah, for those who are thinking that this is a commercial, no, it's. I mean, it could be argued that maybe it is, but every anime is a commercial. Think about it. I mean, to sell figures and
Yep.
novels and everything. So merchandise. I would
Yeah.
say.
Yep. Next week we're going to have sound effects for for ABR braking systems, and if they get into a crash, the airbags will of course deploy and do different stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
And geostat navigation for
Yeah.
when they go on like field trips everywhere.
Yeah. Probably when they go on the other side of the world and they can't get back. So.
And if they do have to back up, they'll have the handy window on their dashboard.
Oh, I hope
to
they
be able
have
to look
that.
behind them.
I hope they have that. I also want to put in like
Joking.
a backing up sound effect in the backup, whatever. Just because.
Well, that would be for the trucks, because I think trucks in every single country across the world are now required to have that backing up beeping sound when you get
Right.
down to it.
But yeah, I mean, it's again, I don't know. I guess you could say, maybe this is because obviously it is Subaru partnership, but I don't think that's really in this TV version. OVAs I can see, 'cause that's a one shot. I mean, obviously every
Mhm.
commercial is a one shot. You don't see a
Yeah.
commercial of like a season or commercial. So
Subaru is based with Fuji Heavy Industries, and they are a huge employer in Japan. Not just for automotives and for trucks. They also do contract work for Boeing. They do contract work for other aerospace industries and different things like that. They're a massive worldwide corporation when you get right down to it. So for them to be able to do this, it kind of like increases their exchequer. It kind of goes, hey, look, we are so freaking successful, we can fund anime. Ha, take that. Yeah, you got office plants. So what? We've got cute girls doing cute things on drive shaft broomsticks.
right, I mean, it's not every day the company can say that we help produce an anime. And I mean, you can almost do any company. I know they had that show about the girls that were actually juice cans. Pepsi could have gotten that easily. Pepsi or Coke could have gotten that easily.
Who was it? Domino's Pizza did Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, I mean,
for a while.
right? Yeah.
They had like some web series based with her. I mean, come on. I mean,
That and countless anime have Pizza Hut boxes in them. Code Geass was the first to start that, I think. They actually have Pizza Hut in their show, so I mean, a lot of shows do that. But anyway, this has pretty much been a fun episode, and I'm looking forward to next week to see what they do next week. And yep, thanks for listening.
Thanks, up.